What's going on, guys? NDTRHD here, and before this video starts, I couldn't get footage for the map that I will be taking you through the real life version of and the story behind it, so I apologise for that. So I'm just going to play a loop of the giant footage so none of us get straight into the video. So I'm going to be talking about Mob of the Dead and the backstory of it, because some people are confused. So I don't know, let's just get straight into the video. So, the story starts somewhere around 1930s. The main character, named Sal DeLuca, has built himself an empire of drug and alcohol distribution, prostitution and gambling. When the police finally get the hang of his mobster, he was locked away in Alcatraz prison along with three of his closest business partners, in quotes marks. Their nicknamed is Finn and Albert Arlington, nicknamed as the Weasel. They were sentenced to be locked away until they died because of these heavy accusations. Since our dear friend Arlington couldn't stand to be locked away forever, he managed to create an escape plan with a plane he had invented himself, which he later called the Icarus in the game. The three others weren't really into his plan, but after a short while, the Weasel, aka Albert Arlington, managed to get the three and as his backup. As you will realise, jail can be very frustrating for anyone in it, and didn't take it long before Finn, Salvador and Billy became quite pissed about the way Weasel. After a lot of complaints, the plan was abandoned and the plane was never built, and this was the real reason for what frustrated the three mobsters. Because they couldn't handle defeat, the three began to construct their own weapons. They lured the Weasel on the roof of the prison, where they attacked him and left him for dead. This happened on the night of December 31st, 1933. That was the reason why these three were sentenced to death by the electric chair. They were executed on the morning of January the 19th, 1934. So that, guys, was the in-game version of the backstory of Mob of the Dead. Now let's get straight on into the real life version of Mob of the Dead. So this is the real life version of Mob of the Dead. Franklin Morris had spent a lifetime navigating the prison system before his arrival on Alcatraz. From his infant years until teen, Morris was shuffled from one foster home to the other, and he was convicted of his first crime at a youthful age of only 13. By the time he had reached his later teens, Morris became criminal record and would include a multitude of crimes ranging from narcotics possession to armed robbery, and he had become a professional inhabitant of the correctional system. He has spent 4 more years in a boys' training school and then graduated to a series of larger penitentiaries. Morris was credited by prison officials as possessing superior intelligence, and he earned his ticket to Alcatraz by building an impressive resumes of escapes. In 1960, federal officials decided that his pattern of escape attempts, termed as Shotgun Freedom, although his attempts were never involved a shotgun, it would end at the Rock on January 18th, 1960. Morris disembarked the prison launch and became inmate AZ-1441. His accomplices in the Great Escape were equally well acquainted with the dark world of organised crime. Brothers John and Clarence Angelin were also serving sentences at the time at Alcatraz for a bank robbery, having been convicted along with their brother Alfred. All three had been incarcerated at the federal penitentiary in Atlanta, where they first become acquainted with Morris, and John and Clarence were eventually sent to Alcatraz for the following a sequel of the attempted escapes. Alcatraz inmate Alan West, who was occupied an adjacent cell, was also brought in on the scheme. He was serving his second term on the Rock and carried a reputation as an arrogant criminal, and he knew John Anglin from the state penitentiary in Florida. The escape plan started to take shape in December of 1961, beginning with a collection of several old saw blades that West allegedly found in the utility corridors while cleaning. In later interviews, West would take credit for masterminding the clever escape. The plan was extremely complex and involved the designing of fabrication of igneous lifelike dummies, water rafts and life preservers fashioned from over 50 raincoats that had been acquired from the other inmates, some donated and some stolen. They would also require a variety of crudely made tools to dig with and to construct the accessories necessary for the escape plan. By May of 1962, Morris and the Angelins had already dug through the cell's 6 by 9 inches vent holes and had started to work on the vent on top of the cell block. The Angelins inhabited adjacent cells, as did West and Morris, who also resided nearby. The inmates alternated shifts, with one working and one on lookout. They would start work at 5:30 p.m. and continue till about 9 p.m, just prior to the lights out count. Meanwhile, John and Clarence started fabricating the dummy heads and even gave one of them names the pet name of Oink and Oscar. Their heads were crude but lifelike and were constructed from homemade cement powder mixture that included such innocuous material as soap and toilet paper. They were decorated with flesh tone paint from prison art kits and human hair from the barber shop. And that's been a real life Alcatraz, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash a like down below, and if you want me to carry on making more of these videos, be sure to comment down below, because I always want to know what you guys like and want to watch. But as always, guys, I've been NDTRHD, and have a great day.